Let's do this. Sure, audio retaliation is turned off. This is the scavenger room. This is where you get secondaries. Obviously, we don't need to do this, so keep going. Sometimes it'd be a shortcut. You only really want to do the shortcuts that have the boulder. Every other shortcut is a waste of time. This is the resource room. This is where we make potions. Obviously, you don't need to do that. Not right now. Before we go into this next room, let's equip our range gear. Blowpipe works best on this. Sometimes people try to get a crossbow ruby bolt spec off, which is fine. When we go in, we're going to pray melee until we get away from him. Stay out of his melee range. So pray melee and Rigor. And let's go in. Then pray range. If you're like running right past him, pray melee. But once you get out of the melee range, you start praying range. At 50% HP, he starts walking up to the tree where he heals. You can't freeze him then. And he does this 3 times. If you freeze him, it can glitch him out. When he's about to die, come DD where I'm at over to the northwest corner. I'll mark the tile so you can see on my stream. Back up. Like I said, blowpipe works best on him, but if you're lazy like me and don't want to drop a potion or just whatever, you can just crossbow him. Be ready. Nope, hold on. Get out of that melee range. And come DD over here. Safe up a bit. We can't do anything. Now we treat this boss the same as we treat the smaller one. He heals at 50. Once he starts coming around this corner, run east. Don't play with his melee range because he can hit 65s. Be ready to freeze him. Outlaw. It's really hard to hit freeze on him, but if you have your mage gear equipped it's really not that bad. It's actually it's a lot easier to hit him. So these bosses drop supplies. I'm not really worried about what you pick up, but you can pick them all up, or at least pick up an overload. This is the big Tecton. For this next boss, Tecton, we're gonna need that overload. Somebody dropped their brew. So, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this boss. So, everybody stand right here. I'll mark the tile on my stream. One person goes and pulls the boss back to where we're at, and everybody dumps their BGS specs on him twice. And then you start treating him like guardians. If you don't know what that means, you attack the boss, then run back. You attack the boss, then run back. And you do that over and over. Or you can go side to side. A lot of people do side to side, but it doesn't really matter. And the timing of when to run back is dependent on when he swings. So right when he swings, you run back. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how the pros do it. So everybody share that overload. And brew up. I'm going to go ahead and pull the boss. Stay right here. Be ready to pray melee and piety. Okay, be ready to dump your BGS spec twice. And dump. And then run out. And dump. And then run out. Switch. If you have Elder Maul, use that instead as it messes him up. On orange, he's weak to crush. Very, very much so. On red, he's weak to stab. Start spam clicking him because when he starts walking back. Okay, so once he gets to the anvil, turn off your run and walk around the room. Do not run into each other. Be ready to meet back at the same spot where we're at. So start heading there now. As we head there, get your HP up. We should be back here now. Stay right here. Let him come to us. And attack him. If he ever attacks you while running back, do not keep running back as he will go back to the anvil. Let's pick up these supplies. I got a prayer renewal. Take a sip of your prayer renewal if you have one. Here is Boulder. So let's DD on Boulder. We're all gonna push it at the same time. So on my redemption, we push. So 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes it'll be a rock to mine or a tree to chop. 90% of the time, people skip those. They just take too long for very, very little points. Before we go down, there's an energy well. Click it. And let's go down. You don't have to worry about safing up as when your overload runs out, your HP shoots plus 50. Okay, pick up. Let's drop some. Let's go over to the supply box over here. Go into your private chest. Deposit your supplies you got from the boss, such as overloads, prayer enhance. You need about 3 inventory spaces. Then come to the west, pick up this axe, and pick up this tinderbox. And then start chopping. We're each going to want about 30 saplings, so keep chopping until you have 30. Once you have 30, dump it into 1 or 2 braziers, the same ones. And then the boss will come out, and we're going to treat him just like Tecton and Guardians. We pray range and rigor and hit him and strafe to the left and right. Just dump. Only 2. Should be 30 each. It's only 1 or 2 braziers that you want to keep up. Okay, we're good. Dump, dump, dump. Switch to your range gear. You can BGS spec him if you want. Blowpipe is best. Pray range and rigor. So you hit him and run left and right. So it goes like this. I'll show you. Like that. Like this. Like this. Just run left and right. Same 3 tiles. You don't want to act like a crazy person and run in a circle, because eventually you're running to your teams. Or if you want, you can just stand there and wait until he looks at you. I usually like to play safe and just move around like this. Again, BGS spec does work a lot, and since we're not doing a lot of damage on him, I'm going to go ahead and dump 2 of them. Like I was saying earlier, he is very weak to fire, so if you ever get good enough raids, or this raid, you can bring Tomb of Fire and hit 65s on him like back to back to back. It's pretty insane. Overload's about to run out, so just keep your HP around 60. If you dropped any supplies, rather than depositing them in the chest, pick them up afterwards. If you deposited supplies from those bosses, make sure you take them. I'm specifically talking about the prayer enhance and a revitalization. You can leave the overload in there. And let's go. Here, equip your range gear with your Sabbath and Heavenly Eye. Here's a prayer enhance. Take a sip. All we do here is take 1 at a time. Do not pull more than 1. Make sure amulet eye is equipped it. Pray magic and rigor, or pull the first one. DD here. We can range or rapid. So we're gonna pull this next one. It's fine. On this next one, just scoot back just a little bit so he doesn't hit melee range, because they can melee us. And the further you are away from these guys, the less aggro you will receive. Prayer enhance. If anybody has a prayer enhance, you can. Okay, I'll pull the next one. Going to long range for, let's see, we'll get this guy right here. Let's see, rapid should be fine. We can rapid right here. Pile the same one. Where they're about to die, you can blow pipe them. But be very careful as blowpipe can mess you up and run you around the room. We need one pickup of Goplar and one pickup of Noxifer, but pick up all of the Bukos that you see. Oh. Because Bukos are our brews, our renewals, and our restores. This is a puzzle room. All we're doing here, but before we start, let's safe up. Equip our blowpipe. And pray rigor and attack. We always start with the mages, only the person tanking overhead prays. But we usually take turns tanking. And we don't wait. Well, I mean, sometimes we wait because we want to pile the same one. On this next one, whoever is tanking is going to get hit for a lot, even through prayer. So what you can do is run behind the Buko or the Shadow Root, just like Celestial. But when you do that, you eventually lose aggro and it switches to somebody else. So if the tank does hide behind that root, be ready to tank, which means throw up your overhead. You can heal off pretty easily with these guys, so don't be afraid to blow pipe spec. Post crosses. It's usually the person who scouts the raid that crosses. So in this room you gotta pick up the keystone across. And to be able to cross depends on your agility level. I'm not sure if they lowered it anymore. Because it used to be pretty high, the agility level needed to cross. Scavengers, we don't need to do this yet, except we are on the last boss, so if you want to start doing these and you know what to do, then start. But if you're learning, come with me. Okay, let's go into the private storage and deposit all. Withdraw your seeds. Withdraw the potions that the boss has dropped, and deposit those potions into the public chest, which is a shared chest, which is not up yet. So just keep your potions in private. I was just thinking about building the chest too. I don't know why that slipped my mind. All right, so you take the old tools off the wall, drop break. All we're doing is farming, Jesus counting. Everybody else is working on supplies because those scavengers that we pass, they drop our secondaries for our potions and they drop planks for us to build a public storage. The public storage, obviously, we share all supplies and we can deposit up to like 2,000 items in there. We're going to need tons of Bukos, as Bukos is for brews, prayer renewals, and supers. And then we're going to plant some goldplar and loxapar, but not too many, because all those two are for are our overloads. No, don't you don't have to do that. Uh, just leave them on the ground over here. If you drop them all over the place, it makes us less efficient. Jesus Connor. So once you get a full inventory, they just fall to the ground. All right, it's up, so we can now start depositing. So everybody just farm. We need one person in charge of getting our secondaries. So that's our juice, our shrooms, and our sight sleeve. And then we need one person in charge of making sure that we have all of our vials, which we get from the gourd tree. And it looks like it's going to be JMN. Once they're done, they're going to farm. Everybody else farm for now. Here in a bit, I'm going to take over the chest and make all of our potions. I think Smurf is getting all our secondaries. It's always good to communicate on this, guys. You know, pros are doing like, if you're not using it all, pros are doing like 25-minute raids. And that's because they communicate. They're like, hey, I got this, I got this, I got that. So Buko seeds in the chest if you guys need some. I'm gonna start working on our prayer renewals. For inventories, 100. 100 vials. Yeah, about 100. I say 120, since we do have a couple beginners. Making our supers. So it always goes one overload per person, one prayer renewal per person, 3 to 4 supers per person, and about 5 to 10 brews per person. So again, Bukos are for supers, Bukos are for, well, let me start over. Bukos are for brews, prayer renewals, which are the enhances, and supers. And then the Goplar are for the secondary potions of our overloads, and Anoxifer is to add to those secondary potions to turn them into overloads. If you ever want to see how that looks like, guys, just click your Herblore stat guide and click raids, and it will show you. Okay, I'm gonna start working on our overloads. I will make 2 extra overloads for the extra deaths, because obviously when we die, you lose the overload. The overload effects. Just farm Bukos. should be good on Blueghost now. Come and help make brews, everybody. I like this beat on the Loppy bot. Too many Noxifer guys. Really need a 7 Noxifer. So Noxifer is like Torstals from RS3, you know? And the Goplars are like making the extreme potions in RS3. You add the Torstal to the extreme potions to make the overloads. Okay, just make a bunch of brews. So 10 bucos, 10 vials, and like 30 juice. And yeah, the juice is for brews, mushrooms are for supers, Sicily is for prayer enhances, and each of those secondaries are also to make the extreme potions. Just make a little bit more. If you're only making Xeric's aids instead of Xeric's aid plus, then don't worry about making brews. I think you need at least 75 or 78 herblore to be able to make Xeric's Ace Plus. I assume all you guys can make plus, so I didn't say anything. Okay, about one more inventory and we'll be good. We literally have double the brews that we need. But sometimes you gotta. Right, let's go ahead and gear up. So let's go into our private tab and withdraw all. Equip your melee gear. And if your main hand weapons for melee occupies your offhand, then equip that and just keep your BGS in your inventory. Deposit all of your potions. You will not need your Salvi amulet. You can deposit your blowpipe and just use your crossbow, especially if you have a Dragon Hunter crossbow. Deposit your pickaxe if you brung it. All you need is your melee gear equipped it, mage gear in your inventory, your range gear in your inventory, minus the blowpipe, your BGS in your inventory, and your rune pouch in your inventory. Then you will want one overload, one prayer enhance, say 3 supers, and about 10 brews. You can check my stream to see how that looks like. When you're ready, go to the last room over to the north. And make sure you're off the chest to let us know that you're ready. Go ahead and take a picture and post it in the stage voice channels chat that we are in. And while you guys look at that, I will go ahead and grab my guide for the last boss. Or just turn into my, well, yeah, tune into my stream. Right. So you guys are ready to move on to the next room? I think we're missing a few people. Is everybody ready? All right, I'm assuming everybody's ready, so tune into my stream, especially you, Jesus Conan. Let me know when you have it opened. Ready to check this out, Conan? This guide is really just for you, mostly for you. Can you guys hear me? Is Conan there? What's going on? Come on, guys. You can hear me? You can hear me,
Yeah, we
Conan?
can hear you.
All right, so this is my guide for the last boss. Here in the upper left corner, these are his main mouth attacks. He will always be doing these throughout the entire fight. So learn these now. If he's shooting out small green rocks like these, you pray range. If he's shooting out giant green blobs like this, you pray magic. I'll be calling these out as best as I can. But yeah, he will always do these throughout the entire fight. Then he has three main floor attacks that he also does throughout the entire fight, unless his melee hand, his left hand, or our hand to our right, is crippled. And you cripple it by meleeing it. So if the right hand, the hand to our right, is crippled, he won't do these three main floor attacks. But if it's not crippled, the fight and phase will always open with crystals. That's how they look like. If you see crystals, you take one step away. Right after crystals, it goes lightning. Avoid getting hit by lightning. These turn off your prayer and paralyze you. Right after lightning, it goes pairing. On pairing, we all get highlighted a color. Somebody else will be the same color you are. After a few seconds, we get swapped. The further you are away from each other, the more damage you take. You can't take up to 60 with this. So to counter this, we're all going to pair on the melee hand's thumb. So right here where my mouse is at. That way when we get swapped, we'll be DD'd on each other and you won't take any damage. Then right after pairing, it goes back to crystals. It's a repeat of crystals, lightning, pairing, crystals, lightning, pairing, crystals, lightning, pairing. But again, if that melee hand, this hand right here is crippled, none of these will happen. So it's very important we have one person focusing on the melee hand. Whoever wants to focus on that, discuss that among yourselves while I explain this. Then he has special attacks. He only does these every now and then. However, these can mess you up, so let's learn these. One of them is falling spikes. Your character will have red falling spikes on his head. All you have to do is turn off your run and walk around the room. Another one is poison feet. You'll have green puddles underneath your feet. You just turn off your run and walk around the room. And another one is burn. Your character will be spamming burn. Stay away from others. For falling spikes, poison feet, and burn, if you have these and we're on pairing, be 2 tiles away. Try your best not to run into other players with these three, especially with burn, as burn can pass it on to other players, which can it doesn't go away if you keep passing it on, and it will eventually kill us. Another one is special is bombs. They look like giant green seeds. Stay away from these. Another one of special attacks is flame walls. If you get entrapped in these or a player gets entrapped in these, douse the flames with the water spell or an ice spell and run out. Another one of his special attacks is redemption. Redemption randomly turns off your prayer and you get one of 3 color spears. You pray accordingly. So if you have the red spear, that's the melee. The green spear is range. The magic spear is blue. You don't have to see the spear that's coming at you, as it will also tell you in your chat, your text chat. Whatever color is in your text chat is a spear that's coming at you that you pray for against. Once that spear hits you, you can start praying accordingly to the main mouth attacks. And that's it, guys. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know now. What we're going to do is we're going to keep half of your screen RuneScape and the other half this Alm guide so you can just take a peek. Let's see. Can you see that pretty good? If I click like that, you guys can see the whole guide still. All right, so very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to BGS spec the melee hand just once and then switch to the other hand, maging it. So let's go ahead and take a sip of our overload, brew all the way up. Whoops. All the way to 120 or 118. Replace that brew. Go down. Make sure auto retaliation is turned off. Hog the portal. Once we go in, drop a brew so you can equip your BGS. Let's go in. Pray magic and piety. Drop a brew, equip your BGS. Let's spec the melee hand to our right just once. Then switch to the other hand, maging it with auguries turned off. Summon your thralls. Melee hand is crippled, as you can see. That means we won't have to worry about crystals popping up. But once it's uncrippled, be ready for crystals. Pray range as he's spinning out small green rocks. What the heck? I'm trying to turn my sound on, but it's not turning on. Melee hands back up, crystals and move. Good job. Looks like Jesus Coning is running with a pro. Pray magic. He's spinning out blobs. Here comes the lightning. Dodge the lightning. And here comes pairing. Be ready to DD. Come DD. Come DD. But obviously can't do that on the thumb. So DD right here. DD right here. DD right here. Good job. What comes after pairing? After pairing comes crystals in 3, 2, and 1. Move. Make sure you're safed up, Jesus. You want at least 80 HP. What comes after pairing goes crystals and then lightning. There's the redemption spear I was talking to you about. Good job. And be ready for pairing and come depairing. As you run over, you can mage. Equip your gear. Make sure your prayer hands. I messed up and didn't do that. Here's crystals and move. I wouldn't advise standing on the pinky as lightning can come in this column. Make sure you're 2 spaces apart on melee hand, so please move away. Stacking on the thumb, in the middle, and in the pinky. Here's pairing, come DD. Usually I wouldn't DD to the last second because he can't shoot out a burn. So you can time it. Now here comes crystals. Since we have light bearers, we can probably dump 2 specs per run, per phase. So now we're in between phases. All you do here is brew up and get your prayer up. Don't get your prayer too high as redemption can or will have your prayer. Just use 3 tiles to move around. Don't run into each other. Don't run around like crazy. Equip your BGS, magic and piety. We're going to spec the melee hand just once again. And then switch to the other hand, maging it. Pray range, he's shooting out rocks. Get your thrall out if you brung it, safe up. Here comes crystals and move. What comes after crystals is going to come lightning if we don't cripple that hand. Bomb to the north, watch out, and come DD for pairing. Melee hand's crippled, go back to your spots. But when it's up, we will pair. When it's up and pairing starts. Pray range, he's spinning out rocks. Run the head, Jesus Coning. I thought that's what you were doing. So that means you got to run to the other side when he turns his head towards you. There's a bomb in the middle, watch out. Good job. And when you do that, Jesus Coning, come pair. Whenever you do that, whenever you perfectly time that, pray magic, then he will never hit you. Here comes crystals and move. So I don't know if you noticed, he missed you. So turn off your run and walk around now, Jesus Conan. No, that's falling spikes. There you go. Safe up, pray range. And con DD, pray magic. We're on pairing, so DD. Overload is about to run out, so you can't keep your HP around 60, 70. For praying range, here comes crystals. Mage hand is almost down, so be ready to switch to the other hand meleeing it. If you have light barrier, you should be at 100% spec, so just go ahead and dump another BGS spec. Here comes pairing. Overload share ran out. Make sure you're at 99 before you overload. Everybody shouldn't be stacked like that on the thumb. We should always be spread out. Pray magic. Now here comes lightning. I never go pinky because it could come in this column. Some people do, and they can just time it. But if you don't know when lightning's coming, then don't do that. Okay, killed it just in time before pairing went off. We got one last phase. On this last phase, we're going to spec the melee hand twice and stay on it. On the last phase, after pairing, it will start to heal if you hit it. So after pairing, you switch to the other hand maging it. Pray magic or piety, equip your BGS. Dump a BGS back once or twice. If you have 100, pray range. And we can't cripple it, obviously. So crystals and off. 2 spaces between lads. Pray magic. Safe up. We'll advise standing on the pinky if you don't know how to move. Melee throw if you're on melee hand. Prayer has run out. Whoops. Free the homie. Free the homie. There you go. Good job. Pairing just stayed here. Good job. Ooh. I don't know who did that. That was wild. Off the hand. Pray magic. Onto the other hand. One person or two are going to focus on the melee hand. After pairing, it has an affinity sign like you saw. That means if you attack it, it heals. Share you're overloaded and prayer enhance. So another difference between the last phases and the other phases is on the last phase, both the hands got to go down at the same time. Come BD. We need one person or two people also focusing. He has falling spikes, so just want to walk around. We need one or two people focusing on that melee hand as we want both of the hands to go down at the same time. Here comes crystals, free the homie, and crystals move. Free the homie, get out of there, J. Big rip. Ooh, pray range. Somebody died. Got bombs over here. Be ready to do crystals or pairing. So calm DD. I'm not sure if you guys are getting that melee hand. I'm not paying attention, but make sure you get it. Whoever's focusing on. All right, yeah, you are. Good job. And here comes crystals in 3, 2, and 1. I have burn. Watch out for me, and I'll watch out for you. Pray magic. Again, both these hands got to go down at the same time. Pray range. So be very cautious. Be very careful. When we go over there on pairing, everybody dump your BGS specs. I'm burning, so I'm going to stay over here. Go to pairing, guys, and dump your BGS specs. Pray magic. Dump your BGS specs for the homie. Off the hand. Now it's healing. Pray range. Stay off the mage hand and get the other hand. Let's all go to the other hand right now. Here's crystals move. Dump your specs. Melee throw. Pray range. Dump all your specs. Good job. Good job. Whoever's burning, get out of there. Here comes lightning. Just move through it and then run back so you don't get burned, just like I did. All right, let's get to the other hand. Make sure you're playing augury. Get out your mage throw. Once this hand is over with, go behind the pinkies like we were doing. Stay divided, so have the team split behind pinky and switch to your range gear. Rigor. Sure, you're overloaded, prayer enhance. Stats are looking good. All we do here is use 3 tiles to dodge, and every now and then he'll spell out these pulls, so DD on these. If we don't DD on these pulls, he heals for a lot. Fortunately, he doesn't do that a lot, but I have seen every now and then he'll do them back to back to back. But yeah, if you see those blue pulls, make sure you DD, bring out your ranged thrall. Twisted Bow absolutely destroys this boss, hitting 70s. I think Shadow does even more. And Dragon Hunter Crossbow also does pretty good work. But in my opinion, this very last phase that we're doing, it's if you have Twisted Bow or Shadow, it's crazy easy. Go ahead and overload if you're not, unless you don't have the supplies to cover the effect of losing HP. Pray range. If you're burning, stay away. Jesus, you're doing a very good job at running the head. Not perfect, not perfect, but you're helping a lot. DD on the pulls, unless you're burning, then time it. There you go. Pray magic, I believe. Yep. Don't burn me. You scared me. Free the homie. Free the homie. Thank you. Just use 3 tiles, guys. Tebow, Tebow. Ooh. Good job, guys. See, it wasn't that bad. Um, let's see. I don't think there were any mistakes. I do remember Smurf pulling a skeletal mage. It's not that big of a deal, though. I think maybe Jesus Coning just got to work on turning the head. But for 1KC, that was pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. Other than that, I think you guys did really good. If you guys have any questions, let us know. I think I got 350K from the. Good night, Saint Smurf.